Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Miami Grand Prix. I have decided to combine my reactions on the free practice number 3 and the qualifying that has ended a few minutes ago, about 10-15 minutes ago. So here I go. I will get straight into the reaction of the free practice number 3 and give a very short, brief reaction on that. For those who have not been able to watch, Ferrari's performance was a little disappointing. Charles Leclerc once again had a few struggles. He did not crash, thank God for that. But his tires were not good, and he had a lot of struggles with the softs. So that's something that kind of got me a little worried there. But I had to stay focused for the qualifyings since that's the one of the most important event session going into race day that will be tomorrow. Of course, the race is the biggest event. That's where everything comes into play. That's where teams put their 110% in. But qualifyings are as important as the race, and a lot of newer fans sleep on the qualifyings. So I wasn't too worried, even though I did feel a sort of pressure coming in at Charles Leclerc, and I was like, going into qualifyings, we may see some struggles. It's not looking too good. The confidence has not worked up, not too well after yesterday's crash of Charles Leclerc. So that was my reaction on Charles Leclerc. On the other hand, Carlos Sainz put in on a phenomenal drive. Even though the final results for free practice number 3 was Charles Leclerc at P2 and Carlos Sainz at P4. Now, I know the results say that Charles Leclerc has the best results, which it is true. But when you truly see on the track and when you truly see on the circuit, this year, Carlos Sainz has literally been he has been so consistent so far, and he has made a few small mistakes, but Charles Leclerc has been making too many mistakes. So far, I mean, we still have a lot of seasons, no, not seasons, but we still have a lot of races still before the end of the season comes by. So I don't want to say anything too much in advance and then in the future regret it. I still have hope, and I still believe in action, and I still believe that individuals, pilots can turn things around, turn their season around. We have seen it quite often in the history of Formula One, where a pilot did really bad, started his career or started his season really bad, and then ended up catching, being one of the best. So I feel like that's something that could be with Charles Leclerc. That could be his case. His career at Ferrari has not been started at at where we expect. He hasn't had the best of seasons. He has gotten some very prominent podiums, but it's really hard to say, to be honest. And Carlos Sainz this year has, I'm not afraid to say as a Ferrari fan, Carlos Sainz has been carrying Ferrari. And Australia was just really disgusting by the FIA, and they robbed Mr. Sainz, and they robbed us, Ferrari, of a podium. And we all know that Carlos Sainz should have been, and he was supposed to have his first podium at the Australian GP. But now we can't look back at the past. Now we have to look forward at the race. And Carlos Sainz once again has been very consistent, and he started his weekend in Miami very good. He has been very consistent in the free practice number 1 and 2, and now he has been very consistent for free practice number 3. And I really want Ferrari fans to know and not to sleep on Carlos Sainz and not to overestimate him, because he is a very capable pilot, and I feel like this season it's going to be really fun to see. And for Charles Leclerc as well, it's a very, very important, crucial season for him and for his contract. So that's a point that I really want to put across. So now let me bring you guys into the qualies, which is the most important, most underrated part of F1 weekend that a lot of the newer F1 fans may forget about or don't truly understand sometimes the true importance of qualifyings. But man, let me just start off by saying how disappointed I am. I am absolutely disappointed with Charles Leclerc's performance, and once again he lost the rear. He over pushed the car and got a red flag. Like, I don't understand how is Charles Leclerc still not back? And how did he make the same mistake once again? I don't understand. Like, listen, I still have hope. We still have race day. And the results are... Oh, wait, actually, free practice number 3, the results were P2 for Charles Leclerc and P4 for Carlos Sainz. I think I forgot to say the official results. But now the results for qualifyings is P3 for Carlos Sainz and P7 for Charles Leclerc. And I don't understand. I don't. Listen, I said yesterday that I'm still going to give a lot of hope. Mistakes happen. And no, I'm going to give the pilots enough chance to gather themselves up and get themselves back to the good mentality, the winning mentality. But the same mistake happened just like yesterday. I don't understand why. Like, he did the same mistake in the same exact turn. Like, I don't know if he's not able to turn. I don't know if it's the stress. I don't know what's going on with Charles Leclerc, and I'm really worried. Like, I feel like my stress level after watching those results and those qualifyings, after the qualifyings, I am worried for tomorrow. Of course, Formula One is a team sport, so of course I am still happy and I still have a lot of confidence, and I'm like, I could look at Carlos Sainz, but I also have lots of love for Charles Leclerc, and I want him to do good. So I'm really worried for Charles Leclerc. He is a phenomenal pilot. Don't get me wrong. He's absolutely pilot. He's phenomenal, and he's very, very talented. And so far, his career at Ferrari and this season, he has shown it. But I have seen too many inconsistencies, and at the moment, I am going more towards the 50-50. I don't know if we should keep him because I've seen too many inconsistencies, and I am worried for tomorrow. On the other hand, Carlos Sainz is putting on a phenomenal drive, and he has just been so consistent. Just so consistent this year. And the only thing that has failed him is the car. And that wasn't the team's fault. That wasn't, Sainz's fault. It just was, I would say, like, an upgrade movement. Vasseur has put on a great work, so I don't want to blame, Vasseur and the team for the mistakes that Ferrari did in the first race of the season, and the second one where we had engine issues. But now we're really working hard, and in Australia the car looked very, very good for Carlos Sainz. So it was just a matter of time, basically. So nobody is to blame for the rough start of the season for Ferrari and for our pilots. But yeah, man, like, Carlos Sainz just been so consistent, and once again this weekend in Miami, he's so consistent. And I'm really happy and I'm very excited to see what Sainz, what Carlos Sainz will show us tomorrow. Basically, I'm really excited, very happy. I can't wait. Basically, I can't wait to see what he will give us, because I expect him to fight. No, our car is looking faster, our car is looking much better, and the pace is getting closer to Red Bull, which is getting me excited. And I feel like Carlos Sainz, after those, few little mistakes, I mean, he hasn't done a major pilot mistake so far, but it was more of a confidence issue where he didn't push the car to its max. But now I feel like Carlos Sainz is finally, he's like, you know what, I have to give it. What am I doing? What's restricting me from, holding back the true power of this car, so now we're seeing more of Carlos Sainz. Now we're seeing Carlos Sainz coming alive, and just his confidence weekend after weekend is just mounting up, and Miami could be his race, and he could put up a very solid result for us, and I feel good, and I feel that Carlos Sainz will do it for us, but on the other hand, Charles Leclerc is really worrying me. He has a terrible start of the season, and he's still struggling. But I'm not gonna rule him out just yet. To be honest, the best feeling and the best thing I want for Charles Leclerc is to prove me wrong, and by what I'm expecting for him, because now I kind of had enough. I still have patience left. Like, I'm not at a level where like no, Charles Leclerc has to do that. But my patience is getting a little slimmer there, and now I have to start putting more expectations on Charles Leclerc. And my expectations, if Charles Leclerc wants to, sway me into saying that Charles Leclerc is worthy of being a Ferrari driver, he has to get a podium tomorrow. I think that's the way where I could be like, I'm very happy of Charles Leclerc. If he doesn't get a podium tomorrow, I would be really disappointed, and I would start questioning things about, is he worthy of staying at Ferrari? And that's another conversation, and that's another debate that we will talk about, later on during the season, because it's still a little too early, but it's still, we should start talking about it, because I think this year, for those who may forgot, is a very crucial year for Charles Leclerc and on his contract, because his contract is coming to an end. He signed a big 6 year contract with us. I think he signed in 2018. So it's been so he's going into a 5th year. So this year is very crucial, because on his 6th year, that's where the the contract extensions will finally develop into talk. So then now Ferrari will start looking at, is Charles Leclerc worth keeping, or should we look elsewhere and get somebody younger, or should we get somebody who's more experienced, a guy like Fernando Alonso, or maybe Lewis Hamilton. It could be a possibility. So we have to, Ferrari will start looking at other options, and this year Ferrari will start doing it, because this year is very crucial. The 5th year, of course, the 6th year is the last year of the contract, but the year before that is as crucial as the 6th one. And I feel like this is the year that Charles Leclerc has to show, is he worthy of that contract? Because after that, if he doesn't perform this year, and if he has a very terrible, inconsistent season this year, Ferrari fans will definitely start, talking, and the rumors will be much bigger and more alive than ever. And I could even say myself that I could be involved in those rumors, and I personally also have started talking about the future of Charles Leclerc with Ferrari. So we'll see tomorrow. It was good seeing you guys. So see you guys tomorrow at the race day. Maybe we'll talk more about Charles Leclerc's future. But for now, we just have to stay focused on the next few races, and I think it's just maybe a little too early just yet. But we're gonna keep it focused, and yeah, we'll talk more indeed tomorrow. So see you guys tomorrow at race day. Take care, bye, peace out, bye bye.